My wrestling name's Rhino. I've also went as the Man Beast Rhino, the Big Effing Deal Rhino, and all that stuff, etc., etc.
How long have you been
trademark, license, all that good stuff? It's my likeness, so watch how you use it. No.
How long have you been wrestling?
Geez, 17 years now.
Really?
Yeah, 17. Well, March 10th, 1995. So, yeah. Wow. Flies on the wall. Right, ladies? Let's get ladies in the background.
And you're probably best known actually from your ECW days, aren't you?
ECW, WWE, and TNA.
So were you in TNA for a while?
6 years. Thanks for watching. Yeah, 6 years. Yeah.
Was it that long?
Yeah, time flies.
Of the three, those are the big three ones. What did you like the most?
Well, they were all different. ECW was growing, and it had its own fan base and whole style. And it was a lot of fun. I worked with some great talent. And then WWE was wonderful as far as the exposure, and I learned a lot, working with guys from Pat Patterson, as far as talking about psychology and matches and just the history. I could listen to Pat forever. Learned a lot from Steve Lombardi too, the Brooklyn Brawler, Steve Lombardi. Sorry about the background noise, fans. People are rude. Quiet on the set. No, but and then had the opportunity to work with Stone Cold and The Rock and Chris Jericho, Kane, and Undertaker, a lot of guys like that, grizzled veterans, and so I was very blessed to be able to work there for I think 5 years, and then TNA I was also very fortunate to work with guys like Booker T and Kurt Angle. I worked with Kurt in WWE and TNA, so I've been very blessed. Edge and Christian, obviously, great personal friends. So, but as far as they were all different in their own little ways. But I enjoyed all of them. I like TNA because you would go down to TV every couple of weeks, and in the wintertime in Detroit it gets a little cold, so going down there. And plus I learned a lot from Kevin Nash because Kevin Nash was in TNA about the same amount of time I was there, so I just listened to him, and man, I could listen to him for hours, just talk about wrestling and the whole business and psychology and stuff. And then Ric Flair, holy cow, I was in the same locker room with him for about a year, and I would just pick his brain after 6 months. I go, Rick, do you know what I'm doing? He's like, yeah, you're picking my brain. I go, okay. You don't mind? He's like, no. I would just get him started on a subject and ask him about, I started watching wrestling when Harley Race went to WWE, and then I've seen tapes and stuff before, and I'd just ask him about angles, and Rick would just talk to me. And just to be able to talk to Ric Flair for a minute is a treat, but to change in the same locker room and listen to him talk, I learned so much from him. It's an education, and still I learn to this day. And I learned a lot off of Rick. So.
How were the companies different?
Just as far as WWE is just such a juggernaut, and just the talent that worked there at the time I was there, and and TNA was still was in the growing stage, and they're still growing, and so they were all different in their own little ways. Nothing major, but I always got along with everybody in the locker room, so it wasn't nothing in the locker room that was a major difference. It was just they would do TV on the road, WWE, and all their pay-per-views on the road. TNA was mostly in Orlando. They do a couple of shots here and there on the road with pay-per-views, but so other than that, they're pretty much the same, but they're all different in their little ways.
How was it different from ECW?
ECW, there was a joke saying, if you pass a drug test, you're fired. It was just a joke. It was an old saying, but I think the fans, it didn't reach that, national TV level for a long time, I was always a driver because I didn't do drugs, and nor do I drink or do drugs now, so I'm still driving. which tomorrow I have a 9-hour drive ahead of me. I'd do it tonight, but I figured I'd stay the night with that.
What's the worst injury you've ever gotten?
I had a cervical fusion when I was with WWE. C6, C7. They took bone from my hip, put it in my neck, a plate with 8 screws. Same doctor that did Austin's and everybody else. Yeah, so I was off for about a year. Vince took care of everything. Took care of my family for the year. I was under contract with them, so I was very blessed in that part. And yeah, so I owe him for that, you know. So.
Okay, and currently you're doing what? Just independent stuff?
Independence, Ring of Honor. You know, when you're able to go out there and perfect your craft, it's a treat, and you know, and make a living at it. You know, that's just the icing on top of the cake. But yeah, it's just fun. You meet a lot of new, young, hungry wrestlers. And they get in the ring with you and they forget you've been wrestling for 17 years and then you gotta go. It's just like, gosh, guys. But no, you know, I stay in shape and work out and, you know, still go and enjoy every minute of it, you know.
Do you ever see yourself doing anything else?
No, even the long drives I enjoy, believe it or not. I'd rather drive 10 hours than fly an hour because you have to deal with the airport and all that stuff, so.
What's the weirdest thing that ever happened to you in the ring?
Oh, in the ring? I thought you were going to say outside the ring. Oh, we're getting a little personal here. Just met you. That's how it usually happens. Just meet someone. Things get weird. No, I don't know. A couple times I've laughed, you know. A couple times I'd make a couple guys laugh. I'll joke around with them. I mean, I keep it serious and business in there, but if I find an opportunity to make someone laugh, I will, you know. Or I'll whisper something in their ear, you know. But if I don't like the guy, I just go out there and wrestle. But I get along with everybody.
Right,
or should I work this? It's gonna hate everybody I get in the ring with. Out there to beat them up.
Were you the last ECW champion?
Yeah, and television champion.
And do you still have the belt?
Obviously, you don't want to follow me. I'm glad you don't follow me, fan. See him. Actually, he's cute. I wish he would follow me. Has to be determined. Yeah, actually, I still have the belt, but not the TV belt. That was stolen in a locker room right now. But anyways, yeah, I actually just used it for Resistance Pro, Billy Corgan's scratch, the belt, and yeah, so.
Have you been wrestling for them regularly?
Yeah, I did like 3 or 4 shows. It wasn't on their last show, but yeah, I mean, my schedule's pretty booked up, and you know. So
What other indies do you do?
all over.
All over them?
Yeah, I go over to Europe and then decent amount, and just staying busy with the Midwest. It's just out in Utah, North Dakota, believe it or not. There's wrestling out in North Dakota. When I got a call from the promoter, I was like, are you serious? North Dakota? Is that in the U.S.? No, I'm kidding. Actually, a little known fact, they're drilling oil in North Dakota on private land. That's why they're drilling. Private landowners allow oil companies to come in and drill. And there's no, I mean, everybody's going out there. Jobs, I think they have a 3% unemployment rate. They're doing good out there. And a little known fact, if North Dakota broke off from the U.S. and became its own country, it would be the 3rd largest nuclear country in the world. Because I'm assuming, it's not brain surgery, but during the Cold War, they put it all there so they could go over to Russia with the nukes. Yeah. And they pointed out to me when we were driving to the show, all these fenced-in areas were underground nuclear missile silos. And if you got within so many feet, and they're right off the side of the road, and they're fenced off, and it just says don't get close, and if you get close, people will come out of nowhere with guns to your head, and, you know, obviously the military, so. Just like, so what if it was in the middle of the night, and I didn't see the fence, and I had to go to the bathroom? Well, you'll have a gun to your head. I'm like, wow. I go, how can they see me? Night vision goggles. I said, no fair. I don't have any night vision goggles. But anyways, yeah, true fact. Look it up, Google. I didn't. This is what I was told. They're probably messing with me.
So after all this, any regrets?
Hopefully, no, not really, but hopefully, well, there was this one girl on the road, and I'm kidding.
I mean, was it worth it?
Every second, yeah. Well, now all joking aside, what's really worth it is when you have time to talk to someone afterwards, a fan, and you have a few minutes, and if you make a difference in their life, you know, whether they finish school or they follow a dream or a passion that they might have that they're hesitant to go for, and then you tell your story, or, you know, and kind of encouraging words, and, you know, in a few years down the road, they write you, or they run into you again, or they message you on Facebook or something and say, wow, you know, that conversation, you might not remember me, but, you know, it really made a difference, and I really fulfilled and moved forward on something that I was afraid to, and that's really worth it, you know, and going and visiting kids in the hospital and stuff like that, and you realize how blessed and fortunate you are, you know, and it really makes you appreciate every second you have, you know, so. Take care, guys.
You too. All right, where can people find you online?
What's that?
Where can people find you online?
Well, my Facebook seems to be running slow. It's TNA Rhino, even though I'm not with TNA anymore. I don't know how to change my name, so. And then it runs slow, so they can try to message me, but I'll click on a thing, I'll go cut the grass, and I even dust, do the dishes all alone. So I have to do that stuff. And I'm a neat freak too, believe it or not. So, but anyways, but it's hard, like I'll walk back and they'll say, oh, it's moving slow, click yes or no. I'm not good with computers. So. Write to your local congressman. That's how you can get a hold of. No, I'm kidding. People actually still do that, but they email them now. Someone was telling me that they wrote to their congressman. I'm like, they still do that? I bet you it's email. Yeah. I wrote to him on email.
Do you have a Twitter or anything?
It's actually Rhino, RHYNO 313, but I'm not on there. Yeah, I messaged a couple times. Kurt Angle's wife got me all set up and did a couple tweets or whatever, and from a laptop, not my phone. That was it. They have a lot of followers too.
Ain't no website?
No. I still write on papers and mail letters. You know, I support the postal service. You know, buy that stamp. Actually, I write out all my bills. I do. Boy, they never stop coming in. I'll tell you that. Electric bill, water bill, jeez, mortgage.
Anything else people should know?
I like coffee. Black. Not shaken, not stirred, just black. I'm sure you can do that, shaken and stirred, but nobody does. I like long walks on a short pier. Get it? That was a joke. Get it if you go in the water. No, I actually very blessed. I believe in God. I have a special relationship with Him. I love Detroit, my home, and I love traveling the world, and you know, so, and running into people, not like literally running into them, but like, and maybe making a big difference in their life, you know.
Cool.
Very blessed.
What would you say your best moment in wrestling was?
Hopefully I haven't had my best moment in wrestling yet. I know I have. So, but every step has been pretty wonderful. Yeah.